Tonight, eyebrows are raised over the simmering disunity in the ruling Jubilee party. Concerns that are being suppressed, but increasingly remarks among party members expose the political undertones in government. We now speak to Senate Majority Leader Kipchumba Murkomen. Thank you for making time for us tonight.
Thank you,
Senator, is the Majority Leader, of course, and also Senator Elgeyo Marakwet County. Text us on 22422 on Twitter. Use the hashtag Sunday Live. We still have a few texts and SMSs. I'll start with 22422. William Burudi says, ask Murkomen why all of a sudden Rift Valley leaders are obsessed about the handshake, and must they mention Raila for them to remain relevant? I don't know if that is why you mentioned Raila today, but you have your reasons why you mentioned him, and we'll talk about that shortly. And then we also have Jomo Gigi, I think in Mukurweini. Okay, I seem to have lost that text. But keep texting us, 22422 on Twitter. Use the hashtag Sunday Live. Yes, here it is. Jomo Gigi Mukurweini, who's saying the purported disquiet in Jubilee reminds us of the hyena escorting a man home, waiting for the hand to drop. The haters are taking that untenable course. Murkomen, first I'll start by asking you, are these genuine concerns from where you stand about disunity in the Jubilee party?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah, they are. I think there must be we must approach this thing two-pronged. Number one is that we have a concern about the existence of a small wing of individuals who occupy high offices, who are spending all their time trying to plant seeds of discord.
In the Jubilee party?
In the Jubilee party.
You're talking about... Okay,
within people who serve within government, and the officers of the president, people who serve within the ministries in government, whose agenda they have stopped focusing on the delivery of Jubilee Manifesto. They are now being used by some destructive elements with a desire of breaking Jubilee party. The reason why I'm saying it's two-pronged is that the questions which have been in the public domain is there a discord between President Kenyatta and William Ruto? That I can say not yet, not that I know of.
You've just said not yet.
Yeah, not
meaning
yet. Meaning
you're expecting it to come?
If it was there to be, then we will be able to see it. But as we stand at the moment, I don't see the difference.
As you stand at the moment, if things go the way they are, by saying not yet, you mean there'll be a problem?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me come to that. The existence, an actual existence of individuals who work in the office of the president, who are busy supporting an agenda to divide Jubilee and to divide the president and his deputy, and even going to the extent of calling people, talking to people, sponsoring stories to newspapers and media about divisions, about how we should fight William Ruto, is the reason why I'm saying if the president and the deputy do not sit down together and say that the direction that these things are taking is not first useful to Jubilee as a government, it's also not useful to Kenya as a nation, it's also not useful in the legacy of the president. If they don't face those issues squarely and directly and bring those persons who are working in government to account, I can tell you for sure, saying such small cracks, as they say in Kiswahili, if you don't ziba ufa, utajenga ukuta, then it will lead to that situation.
Okay. First, you're talking about a small wing of powerful people. By the name of your position in the Jubilee party, you're powerful. So I don't know what you mean when you say powerful. Why powerful? How high up? You're the majority leader in the Senate. You're very close to the deputy president. We have been seeing you very close, of course, to even President Uhuru Kenyatta. So when you're saying powerful people, how powerful? And then you're talking about office of the president. Ultimately, the president is the head of the office of the president.
Absolutely.
So meaning he sanctions this?
At the moment, I speak to the president. I serve in Senate on behalf of Jubilee. I speak to the president and the deputy. At the moment, I don't believe that sanctioned for the president. But the concerns that those people exist and work in president's office is obvious.
What is
I don't want to mention names now, and I can promise you saying I will not. But let me tell you one story. For example,
how do people believe you if you're not mentioning who these people are?
I have been here before, and I have said such things before, and in the fullness of time, in a week or so, you will be hearing names. It may not take long. What I just want to assure you is that the reason why I don't want to mention names is because I believe we still have the capacity and ability to address those issues by dealing with those people. And let me tell you one thing. People who work around the president are trusted to provide leadership on various issues that must be dealt with by government. The reason is because president cannot work as an isolated individual. There must be people who advise you. There must be people who do some work for you. Now, if you find those people, if you find that 5 years ago, we worked in harmony, you know, the deputy president was involved in the issues that were being done. There was no fight on the deputy president. We had a small group of people who used to fight the deputy president. Remember when we even talked about ICC, and one person went public to say there was a wing within the office of the president who were trying to push for the ICC agenda that the president remains. But let me just say that, because if you have those people being the ones who are influencing direction of where the government is, with only a single agenda, that we must achieve separation of the president and deputy. No wonder some of the things that people are debating in public are actually as symptoms of that policy direction that a few people are trying to craft.
Okay. I mean, you've talked about so many things. I have so many questions for you. First, how long has this been going on in the office of the president?
I think,
according to you, that
I think the arsenal was being assembled slowly. People were trying to get to that relationship together. But as time goes, you can realize that that resolute has gone. Let me give you an example. In the issue of, I know you may want to know that, to ask something about corruption later or lifestyle.
Definitely.
But I want to give you as a way of an example. Do you remember that before the president spoke about lifestyle audit, there was already a leakage of that information to a governor, Governor Mutua. And in the very way Governor Mutua spoke about lifestyle audit and directing to the deputy president, and why that lifestyle audit had something to do with stopping the deputy president, we have discovered, after now doing research, because there was no coincidence, that truly there are people in the office of the president who gave that information to Governor Mutua and were working together. And their strategy, we are told, was that it has become so difficult to contain the deputy president, and the only way to look for is to look for an excuse around a subject that can be easily be used to propagate some kind of propaganda, that the best way to slow him from visiting many places in the country. Let me tell you, William Ruto from 2013, just an example, from 2013 up to 2017 was doing what he's doing now. But because of succession politics, those people are assembling there and saying we want to stop him from moving, are now introducing those subjects.
So, I mean, this is
unfortunately, because those people have a responsibility on policy direction of the government as we move forward, we have situations where things like those policy positions of lifestyle audit are announced without the knowledge of anybody who is governing in Jubilee.
I'll come to that. I'll come to that. First, I mean, the president is an assistant to the deputy president. I mean, unless
the
you're
deputy president assistant to the president.
Yes, unless you're saying he was left in darkness, he doesn't know all this that is happening, and I'll come to that. I mean, clearly this has been going on for a long time. You are saying then, you are saying, let me just ask a question. You are saying the president has been seeing this going on for a long time, so his silence could mean he's either sanctioning it or doesn't really care.
Let me put it,
because he is the head of...
Absolutely. Let me put it differently. There is a reason why, there must be a reason why in the first 5 years of Jubilee governance, there was harmony, comradeship, good relations, good consultations, more party meetings, more PG meetings, and more consultations.
All this is happening now.
I'm saying there must have been a relationship, there must be something that happened in those 5 years that is now being reversed when we come to the situation of saying the president has now achieved what he wanted. Now some people are saying he doesn't need anybody. And therefore, he doesn't need to consult people, he doesn't need to do things closely. So
this is not happening now.
This is the no, I'm not saying that's what's happening now.
This is not happening now.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. No, the party meetings, we've never had the party meetings. But I'm just
closeness, you've talked about the closeness between the president and the deputy president.
To the best of my knowledge, the president and the deputy are still close and work closely together. But I have told you, those people who are working, this team that's working together, are working every day to see whether the difference can be achieved.
Let me just ask the questions this way. How or what is the relationship right now between the president and the deputy president?
For me, from where I stand, it's cordial. They work together. They are close. In fact, the deputy president because I also speak to both of them. And I asked the Deputy President, can you people, we are leaders, can you tell us these stories that we hear all the time about this and that? He tells me that as far as is concerned, his relationship with the president is intact.
Okay.
But as far as some of us are concerned, as leaders out there, I think, Hussein, let me be very frank, and maybe to the extent that I've never been before. I believe that the investment that those people are putting in driving a wedge between the president and the deputy is so huge, and to a great extent, to me, it's creating faults.
Okay. My question then is this. You're saying they were close, and you're saying they are still close.
Yeah.
You're talking about these people, and I keep asking you, who are these people? You're saying you're not going to mention them, but you're saying they work under the office of the president.
Yeah.
And my question then is, if they were close before, they are still close as they were, shouldn't the president have taken action by now?
I suspect he will do. And, you know, there is something I believe about Uhuru Kenyatta. There is a Uhuru Kenyatta, personally, Murkomen, I know, as the president. A man who is true to his word, who is interested in uniting the country, who is interested in working with every leader, even if it's Jubilee or not Jubilee. Okay. I don't think that President Uhuru Kenyatta, with destructive elements from our agenda of uniting Kenya, because let me be very frank. There are people who try to lie to the president that the only legacy he needs to leave behind is the Big Four agenda. Big Four agenda, we will achieve it, some of it in the 4 years, we must achieve the others going forward. There's only one agenda that the president can easily take home: unity of the country. Leadership.
Which is what he's saying he's doing.
Let me just complete. Unity of the country, leadership that is honesty, leadership that when you make a statement or you promise, your word means something. And really, those who are trying to tell the president to run away from that very integral position that he has taken for the last 5 years, and now they want to soil it now, are actually
supporting Deputy President?
Not supporting Deputy President, just running a united government where everybody is respected, everybody works together.
Do you think he's failing to do that?
I personally think, if you look at the chaos
you think he's failing to do that?
No, I'm just saying, if you look at the chaos that is out there, those destructive elements are succeeded to sow
in the presence of the president,
to sow the seeds of discord
in the presence of the president,
among all of us in Jubilee.
How then, if you keep talking about this cordial relationship, how then do we have leakages about such important declarations and the deputy president isn't aware? Because you say that yourself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, you see, if you have such, for example, such a leakage, or such informations or such fights that are going on, if you are at the level of the deputy president and you're already working with your boss directly, even if you're working with your boss directly, you cannot succeed to work as a president deputy if the connectors in between are not working in harmony. So to the extent that the deputy president and president are working towards one direction and there are some people pulling on the other one, it's a distraction in the government. Okay,
I'm going to take a look at a few sound bites here. This is how the president has been referring to the deputy president. I mean, many have made inference from this. If we can just have a look.
Jana anaitwa Ruto, unajua kila weekend anatanga kila pahali. Atakuwa anapitia hizi machorochoro. Akiona kuna kitu inaenda kona mumwambie. Si namna hiyo? Si namna hiyo? Tuhakikishe kazi ya wananchi imefanyika. Tumekubaliana? On top of the actions that we are already taking, tutaanza sasa ile ambayo inaitwa lifestyle audit ya maofisa wote wa serikali. Ndio wewe tunakuona, haya basi, hii nyumba, pesa, hii mshahara ndio hii ulinunua namna gani? Hii ulinunua namna gani? Hii gari ambayo unapeleka, na usijaribu kuweka kwa jina ya bibi yako au mtoto yako, tutajua ni yako, ulitoa wapi? You must explain. Na ule wa kwanza kufanywa lifestyle audit ni mimi, kwa sababu mimi ndio mfanyikazi number 1. Si ndio hiyo? Yes.
Okay, I mean, he went ahead with, somehow they didn't put that, when he said, itaanza na mimi, and he actually referred to the deputy president as huyu. Okay, before that, he talked about ule jamaa wa kutangatanga. I mean, inference has been drawn from this recent utterances and how President Kenyatta has been referring to the Deputy President. And comparisons are drawn from what he used to refer to him before. My brother, William, my friend. Does that, I mean, there's a stark difference from how he used to refer to him before and now. Do you draw anything from that yourself?
I do. When the president said what he said in Bakassi, you know, most of us received the message with shock because it has never happened before. And don't forget to say that I, in my position, have to answer so many questions. I have people we lead as citizens. We have also leaders who kept coming and calling me and said, what's happening? Is there a fight? But when I had a conversation, you know, with the president and the deputy in an informal place, he said that was nothing, you know, that was just a confirmation. But from where I stand as Kipchumba Murkomen, I don't think that is the direction we should be taking. I think even for the good of the politics of the country and the image of the presidency, I think that the president must continue in the track that he has always had to apply. Because even in that clip in Mombasa, the president spoke well. I mean, referred the other leaders, you know, CS Kamau, you know, you have a governor here. I think it helps to continue building. And let me tell you this. There is something so unique, which I have said severally, and we will remember in many years. The office of the deputy president, the president and deputy president working, and I said this before last election, I've said it even in the presence of the president. The way the president and the deputy related and worked together in the last 5 years brought honor and respect to the office of the deputy president. And the definition of who becomes a deputy president in many years to come is defined by that kind of relationship.
Again,
I don't think...
Again, you're just confirming again.
No,
you're just confirming that relationship is not what is right now.
No, I'm just saying...
You're making reference to the last 5 years.
Hussein, let me tell you this. I wish you can accept what I'm trying to tell you. That that there are people who are who are working so hard to ensure that the president runs away from that position. And I told you, he has not run away from it.
What kind of power would they have on the president? This is the president of the Republic of Kenya.
No, the president of Kenya is a human being. It's just like me and you. Okay. If you have people, Hussein, if you have people every day, you take tea, they tell you, uyu ni mbaya. Lunch hour, uyu ni mbaya. You will reach a stage after 2-3 days unconsciously, even when you are standing somewhere, you will start, you know,
I don't know if that,
behaving in a particular manner.
That would happen to me, but I don't think Kenyans are even interested to hear what I have to say about this.
Yeah.
But why the deputy president? And has the deputy president tried to address these issues? Have you even tried to address these issues? This is Jubilee. This is one party.
Yes.
Has he tried to address these issues with the president? Have you yourself tried to address these issues?
You see, the problem is that when we ask the deputy president, is there a problem? He says there's no problem.
So why would you think there's a
problem?
problem?
When we ask the president, is there a problem? They say there's no problem.
So why are you saying there's a problem?
But for me, from where I stand, just like you and later the citizen of the Republic, things are not working the way it should be. And if they are not working the way it should be, there's a problem. Two, the existence of those people who are working so hard. Let me tell you, we have somebody there who is sitting and purporting to act on behalf of the president and the party. And every day, let me just tell you, every day,
it's just frustrating that you're not saying who that person is.
Every day is busy releasing statement to the media. I had another day somebody saying, oh, you know, President Kenyatta must be so serious. You know, his father used to cane ministers. I mean, really? Is that a position where you want to tell me that, oh, it's going to be tough, it would not matter who will be there? President Kenyatta is the president of the Republic of Kenya. He works under constitutional order.
Okay.
He has to work with a team of people. I don't think in the 5 years we were in the Jubilee government and the 5 years we promised ourselves, we never say discord and fights and competition is going to be the basis of running government.
All right. I'll come back to all that later. First now, you've talked about declarations and public declarations referring to the lifestyle audit. I'll come to that as well, but first let's take a look at what you've been saying on Twitter. And I mean, many people have been talking about this. A lot of questions have been asked again to you about this. Let's take a look at what you've been saying. Right, this is an example. You say, I have only one problem with the lifestyle audit. It will expose some of us, you, who are enjoying perceived status of rich men. We will lose our helicopters, high-rise buildings, NYS tenders, etc. There's nothing a Kenyan voter hates than a poor politician. Just let us fake it till we get it. There are several tweets. This is just some of them.
Yeah.
Here you actually, you explained to Wangeshi Kariuki when you said, I have no problem on a discussion around how to fight corruption, but don't go counting people's properties and comparing them with their salaries. You actually say that is nonsense. Okay, this is a declaration by the President Kenyatta that you're saying is nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's another tweet, I believe. Yeah, here you are responding to William Kabogo. Okay, when you he said, why would you say that is nonsense? All one needs to do is say it's not from my salary but from da. It's easy. You said kwanza wewe unatafutwa utajibu maswali kutoka hapa mpaka Timbuktu. I don't know what you know about Kabogo. But you've just said
yes,
the declaration by the President trying to fight corruption is nonsense.
Let me ask you, Hussein, what's lifestyle audit?
Again, as I said, it's not about me.
No, it's not you. It's not you. It's not you saying. But I'm just telling you.
Let me explain. From our understanding,
yeah,
is to understand how somebody has gained A, B, C, D. What you have corresponds to what your earnings generally.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Of course, there's no framework that has been released yet of how that is going to be done. We are still waiting for that to see how that's going to be done. But the President said that will come back later. My question again is, why are you calling it nonsensical? And why would you have a problem with this?
First of all, I want to ask Kenyans, because you don't want me to ask you, what's lifestyle audit? Yeah, what's lifestyle audit? As has been said by who? In what legal framework?
Okay.
I'm
said by who?
I'm just coming to that.
Yeah.
To be approved by who and to be done by who? Listen, Hussein. Policy positions and governance positions in the country, the Constitution says that every action that is to be undertaken must be put in writing. Number two is that as a management practice, we either have a cabinet paper, a legal document, a policy position, or something that can be implemented to say that there's a legal framework for it. So when people talked about lifestyle audit, and I can tell you that for a fact, and even the nonsensical question was not in relation to the President. I said in another tweet that followed that one before, the most popular tweet actually, which you didn't broadcast. I said that you will never, Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, Raila Odinga are never billionaires. We know because of the salaries that they have. Because no one becomes rich or wealthy without actually borrowing loans, doing business, and waking up one morning, because I saw people saying, oh, Murkomen has this, Murkomen has the other one. Waking up every morning and going to count properties of individuals and compare with their salaries is it's not feasible. It doesn't make sense.
The people you've just referred to, William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, do not have a problem with the lifestyle audit. Framework or no framework in place. Why do you have a problem?
I have a problem because first of all, let me tell you this. It is anything that is not anchored in law and without understandable legal procedures is bound for abuse, to be abused. And in a country that is so divided politically, one would wake up one morning and say, I want to audit so and so. And based on that audit, I want to punish that person, or I want to do this. So I'm speaking both as a leader, but also as a lawyer. And I said in another tweet that we are ready to provide the legal framework. Once we get a draft from the cabinet, we are ready to provide a legal framework for purpose of doing that lifestyle audit.
This is why you're calling this a roadside declaration from the President?
Well, to the extent, I think, this is how I think we should do things. Yeah, that we must have a policy paper or policy document or a draft law be sent to the House. Let's work on it and have something that we can give Kenyans and say, this is where we are working from.
It's a
and let me finish by saying this.
Yes.
From my personal take, and having been a declaration by Governor Mutua, picked by the President a few days later.
Picked by the President?
Because how else am I going to explain that?
So maybe you're relating from Mutua to the President?
Yeah, exactly. Because if, and Mutua, listen, and Mutua directly making that statement in relation to Deputy President, and then followed by that, the day after that declaration was made, you people in the media did some kind of a lifestyle audit on the Deputy President. When the Deputy President stood in Mombasa and said, I'm ready for it, that story has died. I honestly believe that that statement was not meant for the good of the people of Kenya, that that statement was actually meant to focus on the deputy president.
Statement by the statement by Kenyatta?
Well, unfortunately,
it is a statement by Kenyatta.
The president,
it is a statement by President Kenyatta.
For avoidance of doubt, I'm trying to tell you, and I have said before, I said it early in the introduction,
yes,
that this is something that's a coterie of individuals who are working on privately. Unfortunately, Governor Mutua was too impatient. So he went announcing it early. Okay. I don't think that thing was well thought out for purpose of organizing the country.
This is a public declaration then, roadside declaration by the president.
Well, and it was not road. I didn't see the president was standing in a road. I just say that declaration is not backed by law.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing the Dogokundu bypass. He was on the road.
Okay. Then maybe I didn't see it.
Physically, he was on the road in Kwale, in Mombasa, actually.
Yeah.
But this is what you've said, which is very interesting. Now you're talking, I mean, all through you've been talking, alluding to these people in the office of the president who you're not naming. Now you've just said that statement was made with ill intentions or whatever, but you've said to target the deputy president.
Absolutely.
So the president was targeting the deputy president?
Well, I don't think the president was, but the people who were working on that document were targeting the deputy president.
But it's the president that read the statement.
As I said, let me tell you something. As I said, president doesn't work on his own. He might have a document well prepared, people advising, meaning even the quoting of that document, looking that it means well, but only to have been prepared by people whose intention was to target one person.
Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that soundbite once more. That soundbite by President Kenyatta talking about the lifestyle audit. If we can have that again. Okay,
this kijana anaitwa Ruto, unajua kila weekend anatanga kila pahali. Atakuwa anapitia hizi machorochoro. Akiona kuna kitu inaenda kona mumwambie. Si namna hiyo? Si namna hiyo? Tuhakikishe kazi ya wananchi imefanyika. Tumekubaliana? On top of the actions that we are already taking, tutaanza sasa ile ambayo inaitwa lifestyle audit ya maofisa wote wa serikali. Ndio wewe tunakuona, haya basi, hii nyumba, pesa, hii mshahara ndio hii ulinunua namna gani? Hii ulinunua namna gani? Hii gari ambayo unapeleka na usijaribu kuweka kwa jina ya bibi yako au mtoto yako, tutajua ni yako, ulitoa wapi? You must explain. Na ule wa kwanza kufanywa lifestyle audit ni mimi, kwa sababu mimi ndio mfanyikazi number 1. Si ndio hiyo? Yes.
The president is not reading from any paper. He's speaking off cuff, from what I can see. He seems to understand the subject very well of what he's talking about, to actually go ahead and say, hata ukiweka kwa mtoto wako na bibi yako tutajua. You're saying what the president said that day is targeting the deputy president.
I am saying
that is what you've said.
I personally, and I think we are repeating ourselves. I'm just.
We are not, because you are saying. I mean, you have to make this clarity. You're talking about. Let me just make this.
I know where you are going.
No.
Let me just answer you straight. I'm trying to tell you that the people are working. You said you understood the subject very well, because people are working on it. People are working on it. So I'm trying to tell you, the characters who are driving an agenda outside, let me just listen to me.
Okay.
The characters who are driving an agenda outside what we have agreed, outside the structures of governance that is required to approve certain policy positions of government, are the people who actually are pushing for that agenda. So the president might say it well-meaning. In fact, he was from out of the country. But already, the people who are working on the document are already working on a particular, with a particular person in mind. And Hussein, you see, this is my what are you expecting me to do when honestly, what do you expect me to say? When honestly, there are structures of governance that are supposed to approve certain positions that we take. Then it's announced.
Why?
What do you want me to say? Why the deputy president?
Yeah.
Because of 2022?
You've made it, in fact, that is an interpretation from you.
Yeah. Because of
from that statement.
Because of 2022.
Why? What about 2022?
Because, you see, Hussein, let me just come to this first. This lifestyle audit, has it ever occurred to you that Raila Odinga, who is 100 times richer than William Ruto, nobody asks for his lifestyle audit? Have you seen that every time this story of lifestyle audit is asked, they ask about me? In fact, I'm sure my landlady gets shocked when people say, you know, Murkomen owns choppers and so forth, and sometimes I get late to pay my rent. And the question I just want to ask you, have you ever wondered why, when the story of lifestyle audit was mentioned, only focus was one individual? It's because of elections of 2022. And you know why? There is a principle called kicking the ladder syndrome. Yeah? There are people who, once they are sent to positions of power, they want to curtail the number of people who can be able to ascend that position of power. And the reason why you listen to Kenyans and saying that it is time for a hustler to go to that position of power is for the simple reason that there's a ceiling we must break. We cannot tell us that because the founding fathers of this country, President Jomo Kenyatta, Raila Oginga Odinga, Kibaki was working as a young man there, Daniel Arap Moi was part of that team. You want to tell me that unless you are rotating around that wealth, where elections requires a lot of campaign resources, that the only way you are going to be able to be allowed to come to that club, you must have been part and parcel of that club, so that when you see a new person, a hustler, a person who had nothing, they have tried, they're building a process towards being capable of running for elections. Let me ask you. Okay. Let me just ask you one last question. Every day you discuss about William Ruto owns 2 choppers, 3 choppers. They put it in the newspapers. There are 75 choppers in Wilson Airport. Assuming William Ruto owns 3. Why have you people never discussed who owns the 72? You people, okay. Again, I can't speak for the media. Yeah, but you are one of them. I'm one of them. Yeah. But this is my question to you. Yeah. That person you're really saying this is targeting, and you really seem to be agitated about, he's not afraid of a lifestyle audit. He's not. He's saying he's ready to do a lifestyle audit. Absolutely. Why are you... It will not... what is the problem? Why are you concerned with the lifestyle audit? Again, again, when you keep saying this is targeting the deputy president, the president said... And the deputy said also. Yeah. It will start with me as the president, then my deputy, and to the rest. He talked about Governor Joho, who was there, Cabinet Secretary Macharia, who was there, and actually all public servants. Okay. Unless you're targeting all public servants. Unless you have ill intentions with all those people, why would you single out William Ruto? If you want to slaughter one sheep, will you announce that tomorrow we are going to slaughter sheep X? You will announce that we will slaughter a sheep, and the whole sheep in the homestead will always think it's not me. It will be someone else. Okay. But you already know which one you are going to pick. Okay. Again, as I said, the deputy president said he does not worry about that. My advice to you, and to everyone who listens out there, is that unfortunately, unless we have an objective, realizable, legally backed processes, we as a country cannot go far if our discussion will be around how to stop how to deal with this and how to deal with the other one. And I think that is the last statement I'll make about You're not the only one. You're not the only one who's talked about this lifestyle audit. Perceived allied of, or actually allies of Deputy President William Ruto. Let's take a look at who are the other people that have been talking about this. Not happy with this clearly. Sisi hatukatai mambo ya lifestyle audit, lakini tumejua hii lifestyle audit kuna mtu wana target. Na hiyo target ni succession politics ya 2022 ya kujaribu kuangamiza nia na dhamira ya viongozi fulani. Tusifanye tu mambo ya ufisadi kwa sababu tuko na mtu fulani tunataka tuangamize kisiasa. Hata mimi Sudi nataka nifanyie audit kuanzia nikiwa makanga mpaka leo nikiwa mjumbe. Na wafanye audit pia ya baba yangu wakati alikuwa Cook Moi University mpaka saa hii. Na kila mtu akubali hiyo audit ifanywe. Kila mtu kuanzia rais, sasa wewe tufanye audit, hiyo ni mzuri. Kuanzie Jomo mwenyewe kuja mpaka wewe, Sudi kuja mpaka baba yake, na maneno yaendelee. They're all from the Rift Valley region, so are you. My question finally on this is, what would be different, or how would it hamper, or what would it change in as far as the 2022 succession politics or Ruto's ambitions are concerned? There are two, if a lifestyle audit is done on him. There are 2 points that are instructive. I don't think it will change anything about the president. I don't think he has anything to hide. I don't think he's trying to run away from it. I'm just telling you that the intention was to try to muddy his name, to, you know, for the last 4, let me give you an example. How many times have people said, you know, Deputy President corrupted this and that, and then when the facts are on the table, you know, the facts are different. So I'm trying to tell you that we must call what it is as it is. The reasons why they want to do it, I mean, the logic behind why they think it will succeed might be different. But I want to tell you that the intention, what the intention is what I've told you. And by the way, Hussein, let me tell you something.
Although I'm still yet to understand how that will hamper.
It would hamper him, but the intention is to try to target him and say, if we get, he has one house because he's a son of a poor person.
Yes.
Have you ever seen? How can you tell me, Hussein, that tukikuona uko na gari? Yeah. How can you tell if I have a car, I must have stolen? And you don't tell me and you don't tell me if you own a bank,
if you can,
you must have stolen. Of course. But why this presumption? Why this automatic presumption that if you are poor, you must remain poor?
But the lifestyle audit will clear that,
That's what I'm saying. And I'm just telling you, because the argument in public has always been, we know you, William Ruto, you are supposed to be poor. You are not even supposed to own a chopper. I don't know whether he owns one or not. I've never even asked him to the face that, do you own a chopper? But the point is this, that why are rich people ganging up to discuss poor people?
Okay. William Ruto again said he's ready to face that.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Okay, my final question on you on the lifestyle audit. Yourself, Murkomen.
Yes.
Let's forget about this being targeting Ruto and all that.
Yeah.
You have said it is nonsense.
Yeah.
You are saying it doesn't make sense to you. What is the problem? You're a leader, a senator. What is the problem if a lifestyle audit is done on you to ascertain, because we all know there's a problem of corruption in this country, and it is a major problem that you in Jubilee want to sort out. Sometimes actually people would accept to use unorthodox means. What will be the problem with you accounting and other leaders and other public servants accounting for what they have?
There is not. We are ready to account at any day if the intention is genuine.
How would you know about the intentions? Because
the intentions are only genuine when you have a legal framework that is understood by everybody. The objectivity that goes with it. Number two.
That could come.
Number two. How would it come if we don't have?
How many other declarations have been made before in the Jubilee Party by either President Kenyatta or Deputy President Ruto, and you supported later with your network in Parliament?
Because we knew. Because we are part of it.
So you have been
because there was consolidation. I don't know what's lifestyle audit.
So you have been sidelined. You didn't have any information about it?
I don't have any information about it. I must say that, frank, outright, that I heard it for the first time when Governor Mutua talked about it. Number two, which I want to tell you, number two, the other reason why I'm only going to be concerned about lifestyle audit is that so many people will be embarrassed. You know, some of us have been given lots of properties in this town. We own buildings, we have choppers, we own houses, we have big businesses, we are very rich. I don't think I would, in fact, the first people who should be agreeing to accept a lifestyle audit are people like me, because mine can be done within 30 minutes. I'm only worried about the disappointment that so many people will have. And when they realize we don't have it, they say, oh no, you know, the lifestyle audit was corrupted, or it is not genuine, because there's a madness in this country. People are formed already in their heads that this person, you know, I've concluded that this one has this wealth and this one is corrupt and this one is not. Would you believe, Hussein, if I told you I rent a house and probably I pay less rent than you? I'm sure no, I'm just telling you the truth.
That's fine. I mean,
I'm just telling you that.
That's okay.
Because you have concluded, people have concluded that we must be.
I haven't concluded
there is no, not you as an individual, but I'm just saying,
Kenyans.
Most of the Kenyans have concluded that if you see someone doing well, or he has appeared on TV, or he's in a position of leadership, it must be out of essence that they must be owning a lot. But even then, if I owned it, what would be the mistake?
Exactly, if you can account for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, all these things will now be put to rest if it is confirmed and the lifestyle audit is done.
I am glad that you accepted that it's a voluntary process, those who want to volunteer. But for me, I will only do it when we have a legal framework that is understandable, that is
very, you ready to support the legal framework yourself?
Absolutely.
Because you're
absolutely, I will.
Okay. I'm going to play one more bite by Raila Odinga. This is what he said recently. Let's take a look at what Raila has said.
We are no longer whistleblowers. We are one with the government in executing the war on corruption. Lifestyle audits on leaders is good for Kenya. We are in it fully. Personally,
mimi nimesema hatuwezi kuwa na marais wawili katika nchi. Kwa tungeendelea namna hiyo, Kenya ingesambaratika. Kwa hivyo sasa sioni kwa nini wengine wanatuambia anatakuwa rais. Ile kama ile mtu ambaye anataka kushika bibi wakati bwana yake bado hajakufa. Yeye tayari amesema mimi narithi hii bibi. Kama amesema sasa hakuna bwana ameenda. Yeye tayari anasema yeye ameshikilia hiyo mkono hiyo bibi. Hatutaki watu kutuambia kila siku mimi nitaunga mkono fulani. Mimi nitaunga mkono fulani. Wakati ikifika, hiyo wakati itafika. Ndio. Wakati itafika, wanaume watajimboga kwa uwanjani. Na wananchi watawapima kimizani. Wewe sasa kama umepata fursa, fanyia Wakenya kazi. Wacha hii mambo ya kurandaranda, kurukaruka, kutangatanga. Ati wewe unamwambia ati mimi nitakuwa rais mwaka 2022. Hiyo wakati yake itafika. Kwa hiyo ndio maneno mimi ningependa kusema na kuunga mkono Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, kusema wakati ya kampeni bado haijawadia, haijafika.
From what Raila Odinga said there, he's almost speaking the same language as President Uhuru Kenyatta. He's talked about kutangatanga, just like Uhuru Kenyatta did. He's talking about kurandaranda. Then he's also talking about early campaigns, and we should stop these early campaigns. Uhuru Kenyatta also said that. Of course, it has been seen as Ruto and his allies have been engaging in campaigns. What does it say? And you actually said it today again. You're not happy with Raila Odinga's entry in all this.
No, not really. Let me just come to this. Number one, William Ruto has not done anything new. From 2013 to 2017, all of us in Jubilee were cheering him when he was going through the country, launching projects. Even when he's performing at Ambes and so forth, all of us were cheering him. So there's nothing new that has happened. One has to explain to me, the person who tells me in Jubilee that the deputy president has done anything wrong to visit different places of the country, like he was in Soko in Narok today, like was in Kiambu the other day launching roads, like he was in the other day in Meru. We were together in Peter Munya's function and launching title deeds and so forth. I want anyone to explain to me what has changed between 2013 and now, because the modus operandi of deputy president has not changed. It has been exactly the same. And when he was doing that before the 2017 elections, it was great. When he was doing that before 2013 elections, it was great. What has changed today is a presidential candidate in waiting. So the reason why Raila Odinga is panicking is because he knows he's in the race. But he's feeling that William Ruto has already covered 10 kilometers when he has not started. So his intention is to hold him back. Number two, and
that's not Raila Odinga only say that. President has also said that.
No. Let me
come about campaigning.
No. That's why I was coming to the second part of the story. Raila Odinga is saying we don't want someone kurandaranda. But the part of campaigns, the law is very clear. Campaigns only starts 3 months before elections. William Ruto is incapable of even campaigning because he's not a candidate. He's just going about the country doing his own business, doing the work that he has been doing. And when he was doing before last elections, it was great. When he does now, did you hear Raila Odinga say that Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, if he's campaigning now, or even if we announce that he's running for president in 2022, that is like inheriting the president when he's alive, or taking his wife when he's alive. When he was doing that, those campaigns from 1997, did he want to inherit Moi when he was alive? Did he want to inherit Kibaki when he was alive?
Inheriting what, the presidency?
The presidency. Because exactly what he's trying to say is that, he divided from 1997 in an office that a president was sitting. So I think it's so cheap for one to try to say that there will be no presidential elections in August 9th, 2022 on an account of the fact that there is a sitting president. When Uhuru Kenyatta ran for presidency, Mwai Kibaki was in office.
Good.
When Raila Odinga ran for presidency, Mwai Kibaki was in office. Let's stop fooling ourselves. And number two, I have seen people talking, and I want us to clear this thing, that there is a competition in Jubilee between the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta and
succession
and the succession of William Ruto, the presidential ambition of William Ruto. I've never seen a more cheap statement.
Why?
More than that. Because the legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta depends on what? Implementation of Agenda 4 and the manifesto of Jubilee.
Yes. Which among other things includes corruption. Yes,
of course, deals with corruption and so forth. By the way, let me tell you.
Which you're not happy with.
Let me just listen to me. No, let me tell you. Corruption is not manifesto objective of Jubilee. Agenda 4 is not manifesto objective of Jubilee. I want you to listen carefully. When you have crafted a manifesto and say, I want to do roads, I want to do hospitals, I want to do railways. Now you ask yourself, what are the inhibiting factors that makes it impossible for us to achieve the agenda? Okay. Then you say one of them is corruption, one of them is collection of taxes, one of them is bad political environment. So corruption is one of the things that we try to deal with as we deal with the agenda.
It is a key issue.
I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen. No, I want you to listen to the logic. The logic is that for us to achieve the agenda, the manifesto agenda, to achieve the agenda 4, we must deal with the factors that derail that agenda, which is corruption. Okay. So the corruption by itself is not a manifesto objective. But let me come to this and you have distorted my line of thought. Yeah. But the point I was trying to
make, talking about the handshake. You're talking about Raila Odinga and his entry.
Not necessarily there, but
what Raila Odinga has said, and as I say,
no. Let me conclude. I've got my thought process. Okay. I told you the succession of Uhuru Kenyatta and the legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta are one and the same thing. Because for President Uhuru Kenyatta to have a good legacy, we must implement Agenda 4 and the Jubilee Manifesto. Okay. For William Ruto to be re-elected in to be elected for the first time in 2022, Jubilee must deal with the Agenda 4 and the Manifesto.
And so he must campaign.
And for Kenyans to benefit, not just wait. He will campaign when the campaign time comes, and he must campaign.
But going around the country is also important. That is,
it's important for. By the way, Agenda 1 of Jubilee, which was in this manifesto in 2013, was to unite Kenyans. To unite Kenyans.
That's fine. They are not.
And to work on the project. So I just want to tell you that those Kenyans who are saying that there is a disconnect between a succession of President Uhuru Kenyatta by William Ruto and the legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta are actually figments of their imagination.
Number one, you said it yourself when you began this interview, and you said it several times that there are people in the office of the president who are out to scuttle the deputy president's success. So clearly there's a
and as they do, that's what I'm saying. As they do it, I am telling you, the indicators, the basis of success of William Ruto to be a presidential candidate and President Uhuru Kenyatta to have a legacy are the same indicators.
That's fine.
Manifesto and Agenda 4. Okay. So if we achieve this Agenda 4, it is one stone that will kill many birds.
Fine. These people don't see that. You're the one who sees that.
Yeah.
These people that you're alluding to.
Yes, exactly.
You have said it yourself.
Exactly.
Let me
Agreed.
You have said it yourself. They are out to stop the deputy president's 2022 game plan.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Clearly, there's a contradiction there between what they want to achieve in government and the ambitions of the deputy president.
Absolutely.
Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta himself has talked about it. Not necessarily saying, you deputy president, but he's talked about campaigning. And we should stop campaigning and focus on development. So why are you saying that there's no contradiction between development and succession politics?
If there is something I defend the president to the core, is that I don't think he intended to tell the deputy president that you are campaigning or that the deputy president has been campaigning.
Who do you think you are saying?
I'm just saying. Why? Do you know why? Because from 2013 and 2017, the president and the deputy were doing the same things. So I don't think a president of the Republic of Kenya is an hypocritical person to run away from that which made him president 2013, made him president 2017, and which can make his president 2022. What I agree with the president and Raila Odinga and deputy president and all Kenyans is that it's not campaign period.
Okay,
in fact, as a matter of as a matter of fact, campaign period only starts 3 months before elections.
Okay, but you've said things have since changed. You've talked, even you, in political forums that you have attended. I can't recall whether you talked of yourself, but people sitting next to you have talked about campaigning for 2022. It is a fact.
I have never.
Including today when people were alluding to Peter Kenneth being Deputy President William Ruto's running mate.
No,
but be that as may, you'll respond. Okay, I want to listen to a few sound bites now as you wind up of Deputy President William Ruto. It's only fair because all these things you're saying Deputy President William Ruto has been saying different things.
Absolutely.
Okay, first, what he has talked about in terms of the lifestyle audit. And number two, the issue about you saying you did not like the remarks about kutangatanga. This is how he took them. Let's have a listen.
Kwa ile ruhusa umenipatia na amri umenipatia ambayo ulisema juzi yenye mimi nafanya kila weekend huko mashinani, vitongojini, vijijini, hata na huko kwenye vichochoro, nataka nikupatie report.
He took it very well, clearly. You're saying it's a very serious issue. He took it very well. He didn't have a problem with it. Again, this is what he said about the lifestyle audit. Okay, he said he's ready for the lifestyle audit.
Yeah.
And he has no qualms about that. In fact, he said it will put an end to a lot of things in this country.
Absolutely.
What the Deputy President has been saying, what you're saying, are clearly different things.
Isn't that a show of democracy in Jubilee?
You're not talking about democracy.
No, but I'm just saying, isn't that a beautiful thing? That as leaders, even if we are together in Jubilee, we have the capacity and ability for some of us to point out issues that we think the citizens are pushing us to say they should be done differently.
Fine. I mean, fair enough. Would you say the same about these people in the office of the president? It's democracy as well?
There is no democracy in public servants. I'm just saying, if you're working in public office and your intention is to deliver certain objectives, you must be in sync with the president and the deputy. And let me, for example, and this is the last example I'll give you. Some characters have been saying the president, the deputy president, the people from Central Province, MPs from Central Province have been going to deputy president office to ask for development. Why are they doing so? I was in the PG meeting last year where the president, or 2 years ago, where the president said on matters that are related to you members of parliament and your constituencies, go and meet the deputy president.
Okay.
If there will be anything that the deputy president thinks it requires my personal attention, he will bring it to me. But you can see that those characters who are also trying to plant seeds of discord are trying to say, oh, you know, those people, why are they going to the deputy president, they're not going to the president? Because they still live in this mentality that we can succeed to divide, that there is different people for president, deputy. The same thing.
Although you're saying they are succeeding, they're almost succeeding in doing that.
The second thing, by the time they are making me angry, so
they are succeeding.
It means they haven't succeeded, because the success only will occur if the president deputy were to disagree.
You actually told me not yet. They have not
that's what I'm saying.
But going by, if things remain as they are according to you, they will disagree.
And I believe, that the president, the deputy will fix those issues so that we don't get ourselves there. But let me just conclude what I was saying.
Yes.
That as a matter of fact, as we stand at the moment, we only live by what we agreed as Jubilee, as a party, and that we believe that if we can deal with these few public officers who are busy misusing and using public office to drive a wage. By the way, Deputy President, let me just conclude. Deputy President has immense support in every part of the country, not because of those 2-3 public servants, it's because it is demonstrable how he has stood by the Jubilee manifesto and agenda for the good of the country.
I have a lot of questions for you. I mean, we have to wind up, but this is my question to you. All this seems has been a problem since Raila Odinga came into the fray.
Absolutely.
Do you think he has been the problem? You were here with me.
Yeah.
I think 2 months ago.
Yeah.
When there was that handshake.
Yeah.
You said it is being supported.
Yeah.
Deputy President supported
Absolutely.
it. You actually supported it and even heaped accolades to Raila Odinga about him being a nationalist and all that.
Yeah.
Do you still hold the same view about Raila Odinga? And do you support what Raila Odinga and President Kenyatta are doing and the leadership of the country? Because we also saw Deputy President hugging with them at Safari Park. In as far as the peace initiative is concerned and the Building Bridges initiative?
Building Bridges initiative in paper and concept is fantastic.
Do you support it?
Yes, of course, 100%.
With Raila, Kenyatta still
all of them, I was among the first people to be with him. There's a problem here. There's a contradiction. When you say that I shook hands with the president and the deputy, like Raila Odinga said, I mean the president, you cannot start telling members of parliament like Aisha Jumwa and others that you are not supposed to meet with the deputy president and work with him. Number two, when Raila Odinga has taken up public office to become an envoy at the regional level because it was part of the bargain, he should be honest with people whether he still wants to run for elections or not. But when you start calling your members of parliament, you go and lie to them. You tell them, and this is, I can tell him, he can come and contradict me. You go and tell them, oh, you know, I am just going, because this is what he went and told Wetangula and Kalonzo and the team. He told them that, oh, you know, don't run away. I have just gone to break Jubilee. I will come back. Wetangula
That's
told
according
him,
to you?
That's not according to me, it's a fact. Just ask Senator Wetangula or any other person.
We will. But
number
now,
two,
now
number two, yeah, number two.
Okay.
The other day he says, oh, you know, those of you who are following William Ruto, we have agreed with Uhuru Kenyatta, we will jail William Ruto, so he's not going anywhere. So you see, if you want an initiative that unites the people of Kenya, you must come with clean hands and allow people to mingle the way we have allowed you to mingle with everybody.
I'll treat them right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't treat them as a fact because we don't know if that happened.
Yes.
Okay. But if he says that and you are in Jubilee, he is the new entrant, shouldn't you take it up with the president? Why would you care about Raila Odinga?
To the extent that it doesn't come from the president, let me take on. Let's take him head on as he is. Why would I want to take the president things that he didn't say?
Because he's the one who shook hands with Raila Odinga, and you are together in Jubilee. This is a Jubilee
President
party.
Uhuru Kenyatta shook hands with Raila Odinga for certain reasons that are well known to all of us.
So not what Raila is doing.
Yeah, not
what you are alleging Raila is doing.
You see, there are some members of parliament that were very careful and said, we know this man, and who have worked with him before, and said, no problem, let's welcome him. It's good for the country. And as I've said, it's very good for the country that we are united, we're working together, let's build the economy, let's fight corruption together, let's do all these things together. But I have a problem when now those ugly things that I never believed they were going to come back again. You know, these schemes of, on one hand, you're saying we're together, on the other, you're going to tell people, no, don't rush, don't even work with Ruto. We are going to deal with him soon. You see, that deceit is the ones that makes us think, believe that it was a con game.
Would you worry? My question is, why would you worry if there's a cordial relationship between President Kenyatta and Deputy President William Ruto? This is the president and the deputy. And again, why shouldn't you take it up?
I would worry.
Would you say then, Raila's entry and this handshake has caused jitters and is cracking up the Jubilee party?
No, not yet. But to the extent that I personally think, and I mean, just maybe I'm wrong, that it has benefited the country, that we are holding hands and working together. But I think, as a matter of fact, we must also operate with caution with people who have poison chalice.
Again, so you still think this handshake has caused jitters?
I think President Uhuru Kenyatta was perfectly in order to come together with Raila Odinga.
But now,
and I think the intentions of the president on coming together, he has achieved. The president has achieved what he has achieved. Raila has not achieved. And because he has not achieved what he wanted, he wants to now use that opportunity and this time to try to add
rock the Jubilee
party.
Although the president does not seem to see that, or has not said that, and William Ruto has also not said that. Finally then, do you think the Jubilee party is going to break as it is? Are things falling apart in the party?
No, the beauty of Jubilee party is that all of us are united as members of parliament, as senators. I mean, 99% of us are in one direction. So those schemers who are sitting there, I think let's just deal with them and continue with our journey to ensure that, by the way, why some of us are so focused on Agenda 4 and so focused on Manifesto is because we know we have a report card to account to the people of Kenya 2022.
Okay. Very interesting things being said here tonight. I think even more interesting things that will come up after this interview. Again, Deputy President William Ruto has said he's ready for a lifestyle audit. He has nothing to hide. In fact, he says it's good for him so that things are just put to rest. Yeah. He has also supported the handshake publicly, and the corruption purge, he's also supported it. All these things you're saying, we're hearing it from you,
absolutely,
and not from him. But of course, you're a senior member of the Jubilee party, and you're an ally to the Deputy President.
No, and the president.
Also the president.
And the president.
But somehow you haven't reached him to tell him all these things, being an ally of the president.
I am an ally of the president, the deputy.
But you haven't reached the president to tell him all these frustrations. Because you are really frustrated about all this.
Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there at the moment.
Okay, interesting days ahead. Murkomen is the Senate Majority Leader of the Jubilee Party. Also, Senator Elgeyo Marakwet County. Keep talking to us. Text us, 22422 on Twitter. Use the hashtag Sunday Live. We're back We'll see a look at your feedback, final look that is, after this break.